This is Joe and Michelle on the Oakie Woodsman Channel. I have a big surprise for her and a surprise for you all. You notice she's got some equipment on.
Too much goose for his gander.
Oh shoot. Because we got her very first saw, thanks to Pro Yama. All right, these are some brand new chaps. They've made the changes like I discussed. We got the extra stitching there. That's gonna be welcome because I ripped my last ones out. All right, so anyway, my wife is gonna go ahead and run this. She's gonna buck some firewood. She's gonna do this her way. She told me she wanted to use this bucking horse type thing here that I have. And so, she wants to use these right here. And I told her I don't have any chalk or paint, but she said, just get me a hatchet. Right?
This might fall on me, so we'll see.
No, it's not gonna fall on you because you're gonna be on the uphill side.
Yeah.
So, you wanna go ahead and fuel up your saw and everything, babe? There will be links to this in the description. And what this saw comes with for the money is pretty incredible. I'll show you here in just a moment. This saw is all fueled up, ready to go. I'm excited to see how this thing starts. Now this does have an easy start, pull start on it. So it doesn't take a jerk, it takes a good steady pull. And so we're gonna start it, you can start it on the ground like you have in the past, or you can start it by putting it kind of between your legs and pulling it that way, okay? And what that will do is that will suck the fuel up into the carburetor. All right, and then this is your choke, okay? So to start it, you're gonna definitely pull that out.
Okay.
Now, guys, what we're doing this for is it is tornado season and storm season here in Oklahoma. We just recently got through a week of bad weather. Wouldn't you say, babe?
Yeah.
We had 80-mile-an-hour winds. And as many of you have seen, we have lots of trees. And not only that, we have trees on the whole way in to our property. And so I'm not always home. And it's important for me to have her be able to feel more comfortable and confident running a saw. She's run a saw, but it's been quite a few years. Since, well, I had that one larger Echo. It was one of the gray bodied Echoes, and she used to cut with that. But to be honest with you, we both weren't familiar with safety and all of that. And so things have changed for us. And so she's got her own pair of chaps now. And again, a saw that she's gonna start running here. And so we're gonna go ahead and see how, now when you start it, you are gonna wanna have this locked so the chain can't, and it locks by going forward.
Right, it's locked.
It's locked, okay. Yeah. Look at that, you know what you're doing. Good. Look at that, you already know what you're doing. Okay. Flip the throttle. Good. Okay. Now,
it's not.
Take off. There we go. You gotta let it warm up. It'll warm up.
This is not moving.
Because it has to warm up. Okay. Play with the throttle. Bring it up to you. Play with the throttle a little bit, not full throttle. You're gonna go like just little blips. Brand new saw, so we're figuring it out. Let's see if she's oiling. So my wife was asking why it wasn't turning, and that's one of the benefits to like one of my auto-tune saws is it's computerized, and so it can kind of make adjustments on fly. Now that was the first start of a brand new saw that's purchasable on Amazon for a bargain price.
So let me tell you what I think. For a woman, for me, who's not tech tool savvy, it was very easy to pull the cord, prime it, choke was easy. priming was easy, pulling the cord was easy.
And then I'd say the only thing you struggled with was because she hasn't learned that saw yet, and every tool is a little bit different.
Right.
In a perfect world, what happens is you start it up and you go, right? But that's the appeal of some electric stuff out there to a lot of people. But the reality is, it's just like my wife drives my manual transmission S10 all the time, and it's a feel thing, right? When you say it's a feel, you kind of got it.
Right.
Now this saw is running totally fine, idling on the ground right now. So we're gonna let that be because that's a brand new tool. I'm just gonna let it run here for a moment while we talk about some of the other stuff that comes with this saw. So this saw comes with a sheath, a bar cover. That bar is marked 22 inches. This is marked 18 inches. It came with a chain for that bar, and it came with a full chisel chain for this bar. So this saw comes with 2 bars and chains and a case. And of course you got your little tool kit. Not pictured here is another set of ear protectors and a face guard.
Instead of Pro Yama, it could be Pro Mama.
Pro Mama! Oh, that's so funny. Good deal, good deal. You're getting all kitted out, babe. This is Michelle, if you're not familiar, if you haven't been, if you weren't there when we introduced her on the last, one of the more recent videos. She's been in the videos. She's always been a player here on this property in terms of getting jobs done with me, but she's been a little bit more camera shy. So what we're doing now is she has agreed to be on video periodically. You're gonna still be seeing the regular Oakie Woodsman more, but we're gonna have Oakie Woodsman Mama right here, here and there. And so she does her thing. And I'm telling you, she's a very capable woman. And that's why I wanted to do this with her. This is what she wanted to do. She hasn't, honestly guys, she doesn't watch my videos all the time. So she has her own way of doing it. So let's see what this lady wants to do.
Okay, these are too long.
Nah, they're fine. You're not forcing it. You want to have chain speed and you want to let the saw cut. You have a nice sharp chain, okay? Yep. So kind of rev it up, get the feel for it. Were you full throttle? Go full throttle. All right, yep.
I need to have it come this way?
You're okay. If you're, are you not comfortable?
It's hitting this.
Use the tip of the bar more.
What happened?
You're good. It just, it died. Go ahead and lock it, put it between your legs like I did, and just start it. Let's see what happens here.
What am I doing? Am I hitting the
I don't think so.
choke?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
It might need some adjustments. I don't know. We'll see.
Hold on.
A lighter blip. I think it might be loaded up because it idled for so long. You got to clear it out. There we go. Rev it. More. Okay. Were you full throttle? Okay. Not running good?
What the heck?
So what you want to do is you want to get it started and get your hand on that trigger and start feeling it. Whoa. Okay, actually, hold on. That's a perfect learning thing. So a saw with easy pull cannot be drop started. And because they have that weird spring, a lot of people don't realize that. And so I don't think you realize that. And so, yeah. All right, so right now I wouldn't say that the saw is running impeccably. That's just the honest truth. got it.
Stay away.
Get away.
Stay away. Oh, a heart.
A heart?
A heart.
Nice. Oh man, it's not running very good, is it, babe? Let's see if we can make this run a little bit better here.
When it works, it's great.
Uh-huh.
It's like too much goose for its gander.
Too much goose for its gander?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. This saw is not running real well. It just isn't. There's no reason for this saw not to run well. This model saw has the capability of being fantastic. ProYama has a great deal here, but this is not a saw to buy if you don't understand tinkering. That's all that's to it. Just gotta be bluntly honest with you here on the Oakie Woodsman Channel. ProYama's not gonna like this, but I thought for sure I'd be able to pick this up and have her do it, and it's not running as expected. It really is not. My wife has cut quite a bit. She's cut with like the CS310. This is a little bit more powerful of a tool than she normally does. Would you feel more comfortable with one of the Echoes, the ported one, maybe?
You can try it.
You want to do that? Because this one, do you think it's running well enough to bother with?
Well, after I cut a couple pieces, it fizzles out.
Do you want to try it one more time, maybe? And then we'll move on to something else if this doesn't work right.
Mm-hmm.
Now listen, guys.
Now it could also be user error for sure.
I don't believe so.
So I don't know enough about saws to say. So
this is not user error, and the reason why it's not user error is there is some truth to learning the tool, but this is running as if it's got a little bit of an error leak. I'd be interested in some of your comments, the ones especially that are more into mechanics and understand all that. My hop handle is not exactly, it doesn't run perfectly. They sent me a new carburetor. I have not put it on yet, but it's not perfect, and this is also not perfect.
And this is new out of the box.
This is brand new out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I have from ProYama that's worked perfectly is the string trimmer. I love that tool, and I'd be very sad if I didn't have it. These other saws are not exactly what I would recommend to you. And that's just, I'm not saying that ProYama is going to be like that for the rest of eternity, but all right, so I'm going to show you something here. We got two of them, okay? This one here, I was running to see how it was, and it really behaved fairly similarly. So this saw here, you'll notice this is barred up with an 18-inch bar. That's barred up with 22. This saw has trouble. Let's just see how this one goes. So I tuned and tuned and tuned on this saw, and right now it seems like it's running pretty well. Does it sound like it's running pretty well to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you mind trying this one real quick?
Sure.
Okay.
I think for newbies, they're already nervous to use something, you know, powerful like that. And so when it continuously fails, they lose confidence in themselves, number one. And number two, they think they're doing something wrong. And
you're not doing anything wrong.
Sometimes they are, you know,
How about I grab the Echo? That way you know what a saw is supposed to be like.
Well, I've used a saw. I know that's not supposed to happen because
so
it was warmed up.
Now it's going to do that fast idle thing again. So just be prepared. Once it starts, rev it. Awesome. Let's see here. Did that run better?
Yes, it did.
Okay, now I've tuned on that one, everybody. I have tuned on that one.
That was much more reliable. So, I mean...
So maybe I just need to tune on that.
That one was good.
Okay.
I liked that.
Okay.
Definitely for me, would prefer the smaller bar.
You like the
over
smaller
the 22.
bar?
The 22 is too heavy.
Okay, so
But
you like that one, that size better too?
Yes.
Overall better experience with that one then?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's go over here and grab this. Can you cut this one up too? Everybody, leave a comment below if you think my wife's doing fantastic.
It's okay if you don't think so. You can leave that in.
I can leave that in?
Yeah.
There we go. Good job. Dang, girl. Good job. So you just feel overall better, don't you?
I do.
Okay. Good.
It didn't fizzle out between cuts. So on some other saws, I don't feel like the pull start is as easy as this one is. I had never used this one, so I did not have anything to compare the other one to. But just from my experience, this is an overall better experience.
Good deal.
For me.
Good deal. Okay.
Easy.
And again, everybody, that required me doing some tuning.
Right.
I'm not saying that this saw is perfectly configured, that it needs more time to know whether or not I would recommend you actually buying one. That's the honest truth, because this saw has exhibited kind of some weird running characteristics. Right now it's running fantastically.
It really is.
But I've had it, yeah, I mean, when it was eating, I mean, it was doing good.
Yeah.
But I will say this, I have had it do some funky stuff. And so I'm going to be figuring that out, and I'll let you know what I come across.
Now, do they know what you've done to this?
On this saw here, babe, all I did was adjust the carburetor.
Okay, so you haven't even replaced it.
No parts have been replaced.
All.
I just adjusted the carb.
So, I mean, this is only the first time he's used it since he kind of put it up. So it could fail again. We don't know, but
yeah. Again, guys, I think it's a little too early. I wanted to be able to come out here and say that these are fantastic saws. You should go buy one today.
I think, what would you say? You're at least putting a question mark on it?
Yes. It doesn't give me confidence because I've had those Echo CS310s and my my Husqvarna 545, and those saws always just work. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to take this and I'm going to bring my 545 as well, and my wife is going to run that. Because I don't know if you've really run that saw, and I want you to feel the difference between a $700 saw and a close to $200 saw.
Yeah, knowing the basics of how to start a saw now, I want to try to do that same thing on your Husqvarna and then see if there's a measurable comparison.
And I want you to pay attention to how it feels. Okay,
Yes.
how it feels. So,
I mean, honestly, if this saw works the way it just did indefinitely, I mean, then
you could use it.
Then honestly, this would be an A+ saw,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Absolutely. Okay. Could you do this for a living?
I could, but I wouldn't like it.
She could, but she wouldn't like it. I'm talking about like cutting trees down in the forest in Washington and Oregon.
No.
You wouldn't want to?
Nope.
Well, I don't understand that.
I'm into self-preservation.
You're into self-preservation? You just want to use a chainsaw as a tool, huh? Look at that. Started up no problem. All right. Good job. There we go. Good job. Nice. Good job. Good job. Nice. Awesome. Oh, shoot. Okay. All right. Well, now the main thing is, let's see if it damaged the wood underneath it. Wow. Okay. Okay, so this was the second one here. That does have a little bit of a bruise right there. Look at that, it did make it through. And that was with some of the fibers. Now, it did jam it up to where
It got through though.
It did get through.
Yep.
It did get through. Let's
did.
see what this one did here. Oh my gosh.
It did cut it.
Look at that. Got to there. And then the log rolled off. Guys, I don't know if that is...
I think I'm gonna call that an F.
You think that failed, huh? I do
Yep.
too.
I think that was a major fail.
I did it on this leg, but it didn't go as clean as I wanted. But those ones didn't, I mean, it kind of touched.
I don't think that would have been a serious injury, but the other two were definitely.
Wow. I'm not going to do this on my Husqvarna Technicals because, frankly, I don't want to spend the money on that. But at the same time, I'm not exactly sure that I trust these chaps as well. And really the reason why is the buckle cracked. I mean, a couple things happened. I was cinching it down on the log, and one of the buckles cracked. Like this right here, I think this is the one. Yes, this is the one. It just pulled it apart. See, look at that. I was just cinching it hard.
Wow.
And or either that or the impact did it. I don't think that these are up for the task. I do not think that these chaps are up for the task. They are supposed to be safety equipment. When my wife cut into that, the log rolled. When it rolled, that means that not all the force was transferred right into, so the saw rotated that log off. Had
it not rolled, the impact would have been much greater.
Yeah, it could have cut in further.
And it already cut it.
Yes, it did. So, I mean, at the same time, a lot of times injuries are not like, you know, you're not just like hacking off of a leg. It's more of like nips and stuff. And I think it would do something. It would get your attention, assuredly. When you do it, you know, all this white stuff comes out real fast, right, babe? This jammed this up. This is jammed up. Certainly, I would say certainly better than nothing, okay? I really do think it's better than nothing. I feel like maybe the performance ought to be better, in all honesty. The saw is proving to be a little bit temperamental. That's all that's to it. I'm gonna have my wife, just one more thing here. I just want her to run one more saw safely, and it's gonna be the Husqvarna 545. I just want her to see the difference, and I wanna know what her opinion is after starting that and running that saw. It's not like these chaps are $25 and the Husqvarnas are $200. Okay, I mean, they're pretty close in price. Certainly if you have them, I think that's better than nothing. But for me, I will buy the name brand Husqvarna, Steel, Oregon, Echo. I will buy, or you know, if I ever get some, maybe some Forester pants. I'm just not exactly sure that these are up to the task. I don't think the belt buckles are very strong. They look like a good copy of the Husqvarna Technicals, but I do not think that they're even close. They just look like it. So, babe, this also is a little bit different. It's got a pump bulb. Let me explain what's different here, okay? So this one's got a primer bulb on it too. It's right on the side. Do you see that?
Oh.
So go ahead and just do them slow, like go like, okay? Now this one's a little bit different, sweetie. This one you pull out on the red thing with both fingers and then lift up on it.
Okay.
Okay. Now go ahead and put your foot in there like normal, and you're gonna give it good pulls. Just 1, 2. There we go. Okay, now take that and put it down, and then put your foot in there. There we go. Okay, pick up on it. Okay, yep. And see, it's not one to take off on you. Now give it some blips. Is it different?
Night and day.
Night and day?
It really is.
Now, tell me, like, I'll rev it up a little bit. Tell me how it feels. I haven't coached my wife on this. I just want to know what her thoughts are.
Well, it's super responsive to the acceleration. I felt I felt like the other saw hesitated. You know, when you went on the throttle. The responsiveness is a lot better with this saw. It just feels more reliable. It is heavier, so I mean, there must be, you know, some heavier parts here, but I'm feeling it's a little bit heavier, so a little bit, just for me.
Sure. So go ahead and put the brake on again. Now, here we go. Yeah, start it up like that. Starts easy, huh?
This is a little bit tighter.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Good job. Now you can finish cutting this one up.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, so babe, what do you think? Tell me what you think, short and concisely, what you got going on here.
I don't know the price difference between these two, but if there's a great deal of difference and this is much cheaper, I would say, you know, I can live with the couple inconveniences for the price. But if this is not much more expensive, I would probably get this one.
You can buy 3 of those for the price of that Husqvarna.
Let me just...
2? Actually, no. Let's say 2. You can buy 2 of those for the price of the Husqvarna.
Huh. Actually, now that I'm comparing them, they're very similar in weight.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now this is the thing. You're talking about them as inconveniences. I actually count them as safety hazards. When equipment's not working properly, what happens is you have a tendency to get, or at least I do, I have a tendency to get frustrated. I have a tendency to get in a hurry, and then
Make mistakes.
and then what happens is you start trying to rush because the saw's not running right or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so because you can't rely upon the equipment, I think that it's more than just an inconvenience. Okay. So
well, if you're a person who is good with mechanics, then maybe for you it's an inconvenience. For someone who is literally just for someone like me, someone who is just using it for quick cutting down low limbs and trees, clearing some wood off their property, whatever it is, you know, lightweight stuff, it would definitely be more of a safety issue for that person.
Yeah, I really think that for a beginner, so when you ran this Husqvarna, did it run really nicely? Did it feel good?
Yes, it felt, you could tell the quality difference. You could tell it was just solid. It ran smoothly. It was, I mean, it felt like butter.
Yeah.
It just the instant connectivity between, you know, your finger pressing the throttle versus the other one was, you know, not even comparable.
Yeah, and guys, you know, my wife is very well acquainted with my difficulties that I've had with my other Husqvarna saw. She's very familiar with that. But at the same time, that right there shows the difference in how it's designed and its engineering. It's a beautiful...
I'm sure when it works well,
it's perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And you won't want to change.
And again, guys, I know for a fact that not all clone saws are that buggy. I've had some just like this that worked perfectly out of the box. I tuned them a little bit because they maybe were a little bit fat or whatever. But at the same time, these are running not quite right, okay? And I have to be honest with you. Pro-Yama gave this saw to me. They gave the other saw. They've given me a few things, and I suspect at this point in time they probably won't be sending me anything anymore. But the reality is the truth is the truth. Those chaps, while I think they did help with the cut resistance, it would be very interesting to go watch some other videos where guys have done it on higher end tools, other more expensive chaps, and see if they perform better. You think they might help, but they might not completely 100%.
No, because
we did 2 cuts.
At the rate that it started pouring out, you know, when you made contact with the pant leg, it was reacting so fast. I would not be able to react as fast. So I would not be able to pull the saw away faster than it was already working its way through the pant leg.
Sure. So many injuries, though, are just like a quick graze, like Indiana Doug, and also Mike at Rusty Garage and Homestead. He actually cut himself up just recently, and he's been running a saw for years. And he got himself, and he got quite a few stitches. But in that circumstance, they probably might have, these probably would have protected him.
But again, if the prices are comparable to the Husqvarna brand, definitely go with the, you know, the higher quality brand.
I'm going to say that too, guys. I mean, Pro-Yama's been excellent. Like they're trying to make improvements. So here's the Husqvarna versions right here. In comparison, you know, we do have some single stitching going on, but at the same time, I've been using these, I have way more hours into them. What do you think now, babe, after looking at those?
Well, it's also the quality of the material too.
Yeah.
Makes a huge difference.
This is a thicker canvas.
This is not canvas at all.
That's like it's like windbreaker material.
This is literally windbreaker.
And I kind of like that from a perspective of, I think they're less hot to wear because these get extremely hot, but the shell is not going to hold up like these do. Because I use these, like, you know, when I'm in the forest, I'll drop down to my knees and cut off a stump and all of that. And they're starting to wear, but they're not ripped up. These will not hold up like that. So for the occasional user, I think that this stuff right here is for the occasional user. This is not something that if you're going to be cutting a bunch of firewood every year, or if you're a landowner, it's better. You're better off having these than having nothing. Right. But really, realistically, the Husqvarna ones, the Technicals, or another well-known, proven brand, I think would be a better bet when it comes down to PPE. That's all that's to it. So this was a very interesting video. It didn't at all go the way I thought it would. I thought that the Pro-Yama 62cc saw would rip and be awesome for, you know, just the purpose of the video. Oh, it's the Kubota dealer. Oh. I wish they were dropping off that here. So I truly did think that saw, I was gonna get it out. It was gonna run good because, guys, that was the second one of those, and it proved to be kind of buggy, and this other one's buggy. It's just not where it's supposed to be, because I have old Echoes that are perfect. Yeah. Old Echo CS310s, old, you know, MS170s, MS250s. You know, people do have problems with those, but these are brand new out of the box. And I gotta say, I would have reservations unless you get a phenomenal deal on it. It would just be a bad deal. Like, let's say my wife had a desire on her own, like let's say something happened to me in the future. I would not tell her, as a friend of hers, to buy that Pro-Yama saw. Now, for someone like me who likes to tinker and doesn't mind messing with it, it might be a good value. But for someone that just wants to use the tool, you can't take it to a dealership and get it fixed. You
have to quantify the time you're going to spend tinkering with it. You know, compare that to the value. Is it still a value at that point? So that's what you would have to consider.
Exactly. And guys, I do have links down in the description for these things. I don't anticipate any of you necessarily running out and buying them. However, for the right person, they could be the right product. But for the novice, I would say absolutely not. And for someone that is wanting a pair of chaps, listen, if you have a single job, a single tree to cut up, let's say someone's going to charge you $1,000 to clean up some broken limbs in your yard, there's no reason why you can't use something like this. Get the job done, and you could honestly put it in the trash or give it away.
Yeah.
But the reality is if you want to do like what we do, you know, we have a nice high quality splitter over there. It's not cheap stuff, and the purpose of that is to last a long time. And that saw ought to last a long time. That's not always a given, as many of you know with my other Husqvarna. But at the same time, that saw just right out of the box is problematic. And you can email them. They're very kind on the email. They're very they try to be helpful. But there's only so much you can do with texts and emails and words. So, guys, this has been Joe and Michelle on the Oakie Woodsman Channel. I hope that this was an interesting video to you, and hopefully I can edit this down to be something good to watch and fun to watch. And if you did like this, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you're new. We don't just do chainsaws, we do building, and we do all sorts of other things. And so we're growing rapidly, and we thank you for being here. Have a good one.